We've talked about no tip, no trip and what that means on this channel before. But this week, DoorDash announced this. We're going to break it down today. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, my opinion, and how this might affect you guys. And I know this is a rideshare channel, so we're going to put a rideshare spin on this topic as well. Let's go. Mr. Bet on You, Pedro, DoorDash, and I go back at you with the RideShare Guy. Listen, tipping fatigue in America has becoming an increasing problem. Consumers are just tired of the tipping, the fees, the delivery fees, the inflation. It's reached a point of almost boiling. And I think it might get worse because I don't think it's boiling yet, but it's getting to that point. Now, when you're a DoorDash consumer and you go into, there's always a suggested tip. It could be $2, $5, $10, depending on your subtotal. If you go and hit other and try to type in 0.00, an alert pops up. So let's read what this alert would say to a consumer that doesn't want a tip. Now, orders with no tip might take longer to get delivered. Or are you sure you want to continue? ? Dashers can pick and choose which orders they want to do. We can. Orders that take longer to be accepted by Dashers tend to result in a slower delivery. So they're telling the consumer, we get to pick and choose. They're giving them that information, which is good. And they're also saying it might take longer because historically they obviously have the numbers and data, and it does. Now, there's two parts to this, in my opinion. The first is we know DoorDash will up the base pay on orders that have been sitting around a while, that have been declined a while, whatever. Maybe if it's longer miles, they might pay us a little bit more. But we still historically as drivers see $2, $3 orders. And even you rideshare drivers, you see really low fares based on mileage. So these gig economy companies do base things on how long it's going to take you, mileage. But the only way we can make money is there's a tip. They're telling the consumer it might take longer for you to get your food if you don't put in an upfront tip. Consumers aren't going to like that. If you're a consumer that doesn't want a tip and never does tip, you think this is going to make them say, oh, I really want that cheeseburger, so let me leave a tip. No. Some maybe. They might figure I'll put $1 or $2 if you're telling me that it might be late. I'll put $1 or $2. And even then, depending on where they're at, this still might take a while for it to get picked up and delivered to them. So while DoorDash and these companies will eventually pay more, shouldn't they just pay more from the beginning? Why are the companies putting all the responsibility on the consumer? Because the base pay is really coming from the consumer as well. We've talked about this as well. The delivery fee, the service fee, the inflated prices of the menu item costs. So the consumer's paying all of it anyway. Now, I do like that they're alerting them because I do think it gives the consumer power, and knowledge is power. You know what? Okay. Do I really need this? Do I really want this? Should I put a tip in? Will I not put a tip in? It's giving them information, which is good. However, if I'm a consumer, it goes to my first part of this video. I'm fatigued out. I am tip fatigued out. Everywhere I go, people want tips. Even in parts of the service industry where it was never usually normal to leave a tip. Before it was like, okay, I'll tip my pizza guy, my Chinese food delivery guy, even 20, 30 years ago when things were being delivered, right? I'll tip my waiter or waitress, whatever. Now it's everywhere you go. Every barista, every coffee shop, cannabis dispensary shops. I mean, every place you go, they want a tip. Even the over-the-counter stuff. Hey, I like a muffin and a coffee. And the person just hands you, and it's there. And consumers are tired. Do I think this is overall a positive? Yes, I do. I do think that. But the lingering effects could be consumers are just like, you know what? I'm not ordering on DoorDash. I'll just do Uber. Uber doesn't do this. I'll just do Grubhub. I'll do whatever, another app. I'll go pick it up myself, which is cool. I'll eat at home. That might be less opportunities for you and I. And we need opportunities. It also might just be the boiling point of the consumers just saying, man, now I'm asking, I have no idea how my delivery is going to be. You're not telling me it's going to be on time. My last delivery was crap. I paid the driver up front and he was horrible. So there's some negative long-term effects possibly. I want to give DoorDash some credit though. Over the last year or so, they have done and address the tip issue on DoorDash. They have. We've asked for it as delivery drivers. We want the consumer to be informed. I've been saying that on my channel and this channel. I think it's good overall. I like that they're trying something. I just don't know what the effect will be, right? I don't know the immediate and long term. Like, what will that really, how will it impact our money and our experience? How will it impact the consumer, which is important as well. But I like, several months ago, they added where a customer can add a tip after delivery. So the customer can be in the app after they ordered that McDonald's Happy Meal, right? Or the Papa John's pizza. And it lets you know the driver's on the way. Would you like to increase your tip? Would you like to add? They made it easier for a consumer to add a tip. And I've gotten dozens and dozens of after delivery tips. And usually it's an extra $2, $3, sometimes $1, sometimes $5. I've seen it as high as 10. And that's great because I already took it. It's like a bonus. And now they're telling the customer, hey, if you don't leave a tip, your order might be delayed. Drivers can pick and choose what they accept. So overall, I like that. I like that DoorDash is trying things. I just don't know what's going to happen. You guys let us know in the comments below. And you rideshare drivers out there, what would you think would be similar for Uber or Lyft to do as far as tipping? Obviously, we know tips on a percentage base are way lower in rideshare than food delivery, right? But what do you think the rideshare companies could implement to help the consumer know about the tipping? Obviously, it's prompted to leave a tip after that rideshare passenger leaves and they can rate you and all that. But I think people are just so used to that, they either do or they don't, or they're busy going to the airport. They're not thinking about it. They got to the destination. But what could the rideshare companies do, similar to what DoorDash is doing, to help us make more money and to give the consumer more knowledge to understand how we get paid and why we do what we do and how we can choose what we do? You guys are great. If you want to sign up for courses to maximize your earnings in the gig economy, check out the description box. Check out these videos here if you want more food delivery content. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.